never catch those dang trades? Why do I never catch those pretty setups? Oh, I'm so mad. Hello friends, what is going on? Candace B here. Thank you so much for coming to my channel. If you are new here, hello, welcome. Thank you so much for stopping by. If you are already subscribed, welcome back. Thank you as well for stopping by. I'm so grateful for all of you watching this video today, and I hope you are all doing well. Today I am back with another Forex related reaction video, and this one is by Rox FX Academy. You guys know I really like Rox FX's videos. I find them very informative and very helpful when it comes to his YouTube content. And this video is entitled 6 Habits I Wish I Knew Earlier Before Blowing Multiple Accounts. Now, obviously, this is a video that I need to watch because been there, done that way too many times. And I know I am not the only one. Please let me know that you can relate to me. Please let me know I'm not the only one here that has blown multiple accounts. So I feel like this is gonna be a very relatable video. I feel like this is gonna be a very encouraging video, hopefully. And I hope that whoever is watching this and has not blown their accounts, which is great, I hope that they can take these tidbits and apply them so that they don't blow accounts. So hopefully this is going to be a helpful video for everyone watching overall. But before we get into this video, I'm just going to need you guys to pause, scroll down, and hit that like button. You already knew I was gonna ask, tell you guys, you already knew. And while you're down there, you might as well subscribe, stay a while. If you are cool, if you are all about the good vibes, then hit the subscribe button. If you don't subscribe, then I didn't say nothing, but if the shoe fits. Anyways, that being said, let us get into this video.
6 things I wish I knew when I first started trading. How much money I could have saved if I just knew these things. That's what we're going to be talking about in today's video, and I hope you enjoy it. Grab a pen and paper, grab a coffee, sit down, and get ready for the show. So the first thing that I want to mention to you guys is don't be too hard on yourself. Trading has got to be one of the most exciting journeys anyone can discover. Not only do you have the opportunity to change your life around, but the lives of others around you that you love. And you also have the opportunity to become your own boss, be in control of what happens in your life, build something for yourself, and many more things. Now, one thing that I wish I really knew or did in the beginning was have a lot more fun with my trading. Unfortunately, I was too wrapped up in all of the above, and that took a lot of attention away from the learning process. Like, any hobby that you get into, you're not expected to be so good at it in the beginning, but as you love what you're doing, you keep on going, and eventually over time, you get better. But you only get better because you identify your progress. But as traders, we all relate progress with making money and being right. And this was my downfall. And because I was not getting the results I desperately wanted to, my growth as a trader took a very long time. So my advice to you all is this: start on a demo account, trade a small account, and for the next 12 months, execute as many trades as you possibly can and focus on one thing. Identify what is working, eliminate what isn't, and make a plan you can execute and rely on to make you money once you have enough experience.
I definitely wish I knew that, process over outcome was very important when it came to trading, especially when I started. I agree with him. Just give yourself grace. I always mention that, you have to have grace for yourself when it comes to trading. It's a lot harder to just criticize yourself and be like, man, I'm so dumb, and been there, done that for sure. But having grace to be like, it's okay, we'll learn, we'll get better, let this be a learning lesson, having that ability just to be graceful with yourself and just be kind to yourself goes a long way when it comes to trading. So I definitely agree with him.
Don't focus on money now, just have some fun. And that is tip number 1. Don't be too hard on yourself. And here we have a beautiful trade on pound Aussie dollar 4H time frame. We can see the market's been trending to the downside. We have a really nice deep pullback into this level, a strong bearish engulfing candle. Is this a trade we can be taking? Absolutely. And let's see what happens with this one.
Why do I never catch those dang trades? Why do I never catch those pretty setups? Oh, I'm so mad. But it's always hindsight, obviously. Obviously he's doing the playback feature, but dang, I want to catch those big moves. What time frame is he on? 4 hour? Yeah, no, I'm not in no trade for that long.
beautiful trade. Let's move on to point number 2. Point number 2, embrace your losses. When I started out trading, if I lost a trade, it almost felt like it was the end of the world. All that hard work, waiting patiently, being disciplined, walking away, all that usual rigmarole that we read about on a daily basis, it never really paid off. To me, this was one of the hardest things I had to deal with. The type of person that I am is if I put my mind to something, then I'm going to get results. And for me, that was always the case when I was growing up. So when I started trading, and I put everything into it and I still had a series of, let's say, consecutive losses, it really hurt. And one thing that changed for me was recognizing I was no longer working for a paycheck. I was working on building my future. And when I realized this, everything changed. And a quote from Henry Ford still rings in my ears. And he said, "The only real mistake is the one from which we learn nothing from." And that was life-changing to me. My losses were not a reflection of my progress. They were an opportunity for me to grow. And I say grow because a loss doesn't mean a mistake. What is a mistake is if I take the loss personal and then go on to revenge trade or chase my losses. Once I knew I was in the pilot seat, no matter what the results were, that's when I started to turn things around. So remember, traders, losses are not your downfall, they're inevitable. What is your attitude and behavior towards them.
I definitely agree with him when it comes to that, especially the fact that really it's true that all we can control is how much we lose in the market because we control our risk. We don't know where the market is going to go when it comes to our take profit, but we can set our stop loss and have that managed. So it's kind of like accepting losses, accepting your risk is so important. And it's like you have to keep telling yourself this. I have to keep telling myself this. I just accept the loss. Don't over leverage to the point where it's like you're scared if your stop loss is going to get hit because you're going to lose more money than you expected. If you just follow, that same plan, if you follow a simple plan, simple lot size, don't over leverage, keep it simple, then it's so much easier to recover from that loss mentally too, and especially financially. Because if obviously you're going to risk half of what you would make, then there's a higher chance that you'll just recover your loss eventually. But it is very important just to remind ourselves that losses are not our downfall. I feel like it's only our downfall when we over leverage, over risk, over trade, doing everything more than we need to do, as opposed to just simply trading your plan, simply risking 1% and that's it, just keeping things simple.
So point number 2, embrace your losses. And here we have another beautiful trade on New Zealand dollar USD. Again, a trend to the downside, a really nice deep pullback into this key level. And we can see that prices respected this structure with a nice bearish engulfing candle to the downside. Can we take this trade? Absolutely. But as mentioned, losses are inevitable. Let's move on to point number 3. Point number 3, walk away after a win. Most people talk about walking away after a loss. This is true, but one of the biggest discoveries that I had as I started to become more consistent and profitable as a trader was when I won a trade and continue trading, I'd either give back all my profits or loss more than I won for the day. Let me say that again. I'd either give back all my profits or lose more than I won for the day. And I know it sounds crazy, but what I later realized as a trader was that whilst I was growing in consistency, I had to learn to appreciate positive results. And that positive results was a stepping stone closer to my goals, my dreams, my desires to become a successful trader. And there was no way to make this happen quickly, especially trying to take more trade, which seemed at the time the only way to make it happen faster rather than just accepting my winning results. And a quote from Jim Rohn really changed everything for me when he said, "You cannot change your destination overnight, but you can change your direction overnight." And this held true for me. The more I focused on 20-day cycles, 60-day cycles, and 90-day cycles, that's when my trading took off. And I appreciated the process, which I talk about so much now, and you hear me say it all the time, trust the process, trust the process, trust the process. I've never looked back. So in the beginning, focus on one trade at a time. Minimize your losses by walking away, but also learn to appreciate your growth and walk away after a win, no matter how big or small it is. So we have a really beautiful trade here, and this is what we call a breakout trade. The previous two trades you saw were deep pullback trades, but what we have here is really strong bearish momentum, finally breaking below a level here in the market. And with this bearish close, it may not seem significant to you, but it is significant in this scenario. But just to be safe rather than sorry, what we're waiting for is for the momentum shift below the current low in anticipation of a new low to be made, and we can take this trade pretty comfortably. Very nice trade. Let's move on to tip number 4. Point number 4, don't overcomplicate it. This was tough for me when I was a trader, you know, I'm not gonna lie. Getting mixed results and then seeing traders on Instagram and YouTube banging it out, getting better results than me, or so it seemed, you know, it became extremely demoralizing. I just couldn't get it around my head why I didn't know the secret. It kept me up to early hours of the morning, and it woke me up at silly hours of the morning.
Very relatable. Just not understanding things would literally keep me up so late at night, so early in the morning. I just never understood why things weren't clicking for me. So I definitely relate to that. And I just love the fact that he's adding these quotes, these inspirational quotes, and it's so interactive in terms of what he's doing. I really appreciate that because it's really helping to drive his point home.
Now, I'm not going to say this was a bad thing, but I guess, you know, I was only trying to discover what would work for me, but it became a burden eventually. And I was constantly trying new things instead of just sticking to one thing for long enough. Now, I'm a consistent and profitable trader now, and one thing that I do want to advise you is just to focus on one thing at a time. Firstly, avoid chasing the holy grail because it doesn't exist. The last 3 years of being in the public eye as a trader and mentor, I've seen more trading gurus come into this industry because they've got funded, and then, you know, more gurus than the amount of babies that are born each day. And what comes with this is the best entry techniques, the best stop loss placement, the best reversals, the best this, the secret to identifying key levels, how I flip my 200 account to 10,000 overnight, the only 1 minute time frame strategy you'll ever need, you know, so much more that comes out of this. And what can we gather from this? Well, what we find is that if you're not getting results, then you're likely missing out on the best of everything else that everyone else knows that you don't. So my point is this, traders, focus on simply trading trends. When the markets are down, sell. When the markets are up, buy. And when they're not, just stay clear, stay out. You all know how to trade, and you just got to keep it simple. So point number 4, don't overcomplicate it. So here we have another breakout trade. Again, we have a trend that's pushing to the downside, a lower high structure, a nice breakout trade. Can we take this? Absolutely. Just part and parcel of the business. Let's move on to point number 5. Point number 5, your daily habits and routines affect your trading. As a trader, you know, you're not running a garage sales business. Trading is a very serious business, and your daily habits and routines have a massive impact on your results. Trading is a mental game, and if you live your life and fill your mind with garbage, then you can expect the results you get from your trading to be garbage.
You know what? I really agree with this point. What you do outside of trading actually does affect what happens on the charts. Like, obviously, if you're having a bad day and stuff like that, and then you go to trade, that's going to relate to what you end up doing. You know, you might just aggressively trade or just not follow your plan just because you're super emotional. I totally agree. It is a mental game, and it never stops. It doesn't matter if you're making $10,000 a day. The mental game never stops when it comes to trading. Seriously.
Garbage. I don't want to come across as a motivational speaker right now, but if you are not focusing on your physical and mental well-being, then you are most likely to be the type of trader that is affected by the most immediate outcome of your results, because you're trying to fill a void that is missing from your own life because you haven't got that aligned with what is needed to be able to cope with what you need to transition from, which is a 9-to-5 worker, to a successful businessman or woman. Aristotle once said, and a quote that I really love, quality is not an act, it is an habit. So if you want the best out of your trading, then you have to focus on what you're doing outside of it first before it becomes an act you can perform on the charts. So we have another trade here. The previous 2 trades were breakouts, and the 2 trades before that were deep pullback trades. We have simple trend trading technique here where we have a broken trend line, we have lower lows and lower highs, and what we're anticipating now on this 5-minute time frame is a lower high formation to make a new lower low. Can we take this trade?
Why is the anticipation killing me? And the clicking of. Why didn't he just press play? He's just clicking, all I hear is clicking. I'm sorry, I don't know why I found that so funny.
A nice little finale there after a few clicks of the button. Let's move on to our 6th and final point. Point number 6. Quit trying to remove emotions. This is the dumbest thing that I've heard, and I wish I knew it earlier. Remove emotions from trading. WTF traders, we are not robots and we will never become robots. Trying to remove emotions from trading is like drawing blood from a stone. It will never happen. The more energy you give to trying to figure in this one out, the more depressed and anxious you will become. You will always think that you're doing something wrong, that someone out there knows something that you don't, or that there is something terribly wrong with you because you're always feeling a certain way when you are trading. Today I want to just tell you to get over it, let it go. You will never ever be emotionless as a trader. No matter how experienced, how consistent, how profitable you are, those feelings and emotions you are facing now will always be there. The only difference is that you can and will become more aware of them, and that will lead you to making better decisions and take better actions.
You know what? It's so true, because the beginning of my trading journey, people were always like, yeah, remove emotion. So I was always like, remove emotion. Like, I have to remove emotion. I'm the most emotional person. If you are watching this and you know me, like if you're my friend or just someone close to me, trust me. I can cry at the drop of the dime. I can literally cry right now if I wanted to. Like, I get so emotional. I'm pretty sure you guys have seen in my videos when I get emotional, when I go on little like rants about things. So for me to remove emotions out of my trading completely is like, it's impossible. It's impossible. And he's right. We are not robots. And that's so relieving to hear, is that like, you don't have to remove emotions, just adapt. It's all about your personality. How can you adapt your trading to your personality? Not how can you adapt your personality to your trading. It's the other way around. Do you know what I mean?
And a quote that I once read said this: don't let your emotions distract you from doing what needs to be done. Control your emotions, or your emotions will control you. So traders, you can choose to believe me, or you can learn the hard way. But become a master of yourself, or let your emotions be the master over you as you continue your quest on how to become a robot versus trusting the process and working on what is most important. So a final trade here on pound USD. We can see price failed to break the highs. Another 5-minute trade where we have the shift in momentum, potential lower high retest. Can we take this trade? Absolutely. Traders, sometimes you win some, sometimes you lose some. I hope those 6 points are of use to you, and I really do hope that they'll benefit you in your trading as you continue on in your journey. If you enjoyed this video, hit that like button, subscribe if you...
We're hitting it. We're already subscribed. We're definitely hitting the like button. For sure.
If you're new to the channel, turn on notifications, and as I always say, continue to trust the process.
Trust the process. Very important. Shout out to RoxFX snapping up one time for him, because he always comes through with the valuable content. Honestly, every point that he mentioned in this video was on point, relatable. I definitely wish I knew these things before, you know, even like getting into trading so deep, you know. it would just save so much heartache, so much sad nights, so many sad mornings, so much anger, you know. But yeah, everything he mentioned in this video, like I mentioned, I love that it was interactive, that we, you know, saw examples, even though it was more like he was doing a replay version of the charts. It was still a nice way to interact in the video. I love that he was adding quotes. You know, the way he speaks obviously is always very just kind of inspirational, even though he said he doesn't try to be, but you can tell he's done a lot of things. He's experienced a lot of things when it comes to trading, and there's so many things that we can wish in hindsight that we did, but it doesn't matter because today is a new day. Tomorrow will be another new day. We can start now and change our mindset, you know, in terms of trusting the process. We can start to do that, change the direction of how we approach things when it comes to trading. Because let's say you start now in terms of changing your mindset, and you look back a year from now after you're making all this money, you're not gonna care how much money you lost, how many things you had to do to like get to this point. Like, you will find that as necessary, things that you had to do to get to where you are. So I feel like, you know, even though you and I, we've definitely gone through a lot of things, I'm sure every single trader has, it won't matter as much when you reach that success because it all will feel worth it. So that's basically my mindset. You know, it's very motivational to watch these type of videos, just to like know that, you know, just keep it simple. There's so many things we could be doing, so many gurus, so many courses that we can be investing in or buying, but it's just like, just keep it simple, trust the process, enjoy the process. Enjoy it. If you are passionate about trading, if you enjoy what you're doing, you know, the money will come as you just keep learning and you keep things structured and mechanical. So yeah, this was a very, very good, necessary reminder, especially for me. I'm very happy I came across this video, and I hope you guys found it valuable as well. If you did, please let me know. Smash that like button. I always appreciate it. And comment down below, did this video resonate with you? Were there some things in this video that was mentioned that you were like, oh man, like an eye-opener, like an aha moment? Let's talk about it, because there were many aha moments in this video for me. And last but not least, do not forget to subscribe so you know when I post another video. And in the meantime, feel free to check out any of my other videos on this channel and my other channel, Candace B TV, where I vlog. But that being said, guys, I wish you nothing but the best. I wish you all the success in the world, and I hope that you continue wherever you are in your trading journey, in your life journey, that you keep pushing forward. There is a light at the end of the tunnel. It will be worth it for you and I. We just have to keep going. So that being said, I hope you guys have a beautiful, fantastic, outstandingly amazing day, week, and life. Bye.